Hi, everyone. Welcome to our latest edition of our Roadmap webinar series, Hot Sauce Releases. We are so excited that you're all able to join us. We have some really great new product launches, new innovations that we're just really excited to share with you all. And then we've also included our safe harbor statement here, so you're able to reference that as well. Okay, let's meet the team. Hi, everyone. I'm Madison. I lead our platform product marketing team here at Sauce, and I am based in Denver, Colorado. And then joining me today, we have Jen, who is our director of product. She is coming to us from Berlin, and we're really lucky to also have Eyal joining us. He is our senior solution architect. He's going to dig in and do a live demo for us, and he is joining from the UK. So really excited to have this team with us. And just to get started and set the stage here, I know we've all been there. We've all been frustrated with software that glitches or crashes. And I know for me, just the other day, I was online shopping and I was trying to look at different sizes and I couldn't look at the different sizes. It kept glitching out on me. And it was annoying. I mean, it's a small thing, but it was annoying. And I ended up closing out that retailer and went to another retailer. And that just shows how just a glitch lost them a sale. And Jaren, I wanted to ask you the same thing. Have you had anything recently, a glitch or a crash that has impacted your user experience?
Yeah, thank you, Madison. So, hi everyone again. As Madison said, I'm based in Berlin, and we recently hosted European Football Championship. So short before the championship began and the football season ended, Real Madrid actually announced Mbappe joining them for the next season, after I think 6 or 7 years in Paris Saint-Germain. So, and then after that announcement, I heard that, I mean, this wasn't me, I checked the local news here, but I heard that Real Madrid's website actually crashed for about 15-20 minutes by all the fans who just wanted to read I think it was the urge was to read the news from the source itself.
Yeah, so it happens across so many different industries, and wanted to just ask folks who are attending, how many of you have had an app glitch or a bad experience? Feel free to share in the chat so we can all kind of commiserate. But yeah, I would just kind of love to hear when you have had something crash or glitch on you, because I think this just really shows how crucial software quality is. I mean, we all live in this digital first world, and delivering quality software, it's not optional anymore. I mean, it's a requirement for your business in order to stay competitive, to really maintain that customer loyalty, and then also protect your bottom line. All comes down to quality software. And so thinking how to actually deliver that quality software, to be honest, traditional testing methods are kind of falling short. I mean, you can see in this chart, a lot of times traditional testing has acted as this bottleneck within the development lifecycle. And it really creates quality gaps, and it really delays that delivery of value to your end users. So, I mean, as many folks here know, that's why a lot of orgs have started to shift left. They've incorporated testing earlier in development. Other organizations have shifted right, so using tools to monitor post-production or live environments. And here at Sauce, we've kind of pulled all of that together and developed a model that really encourages what we're calling continuous quality. So this is really how you're able to get fast feedback across your entire development lifecycle, and also connect all of your quality focused teams. And we've really seen from our customers how through this continuous quality model, you're able to accelerate your velocity, enhance your efficiency, and overall improve your quality of software. And to be honest, it's not just us saying this. Gartner actually released a report that continuous quality enhances your ability to serve and delight your customers. And when they launched this, sorry, I need to pull in this stat. They launched this report late last year. Only 20% of teams actually had adopted a continuous quality at that point. And we're really expected to see that number rise to 70% in the next 2 years. So this really shows how peers in your industry, competitors in your industry are all moving towards this continuous quality strategy in order to better satisfy their customers. And wanted to pose this question. When you're thinking about this continuous quality process, what is the outcome that you're looking for? We think about this from kind of a spectrum perspective of escaped bugs. So 0% escape bugs, obviously not be good for business. I mean, that's all of your bugs coming through. But then going for 0%, that's is that reasonable? I mean, how much resources, time, money would take to find every single bug in your application? So we really recommend to find this sweet spot in between both of those extremes to find the right mix for your business. And based on our experience, that sweet spot's going to look very different for different companies. So based on a lot of different variables, you have to look at your needs for your business, your industry, your geography, your team, your maturity. Kind of all of this comes into play when thinking about what is the right test strategy for your business. So wanted to talk through kind of the evolution of test strategies. So many companies are here. They're at traditional testing. They spend a lot of time and money on manual and automated functional testing before releasing to production. So this definitely minimizes risk, which is great, but it also kind of slows that delivery of value to your end users. And then thinking about this next iteration for as we've increased mobile testing, there are new complexities that are pulled in with mobile testing. You need to leverage eSIMs earlier on, need to pull in real devices, and you also need to think about beta testing and how you're delivering your app to different platforms. So this is kind of that next iteration of the model where you pull in beta testing and you're able to release value a little bit earlier. And you're able to maximize your full testing time. And then really wanted to highlight modern continuous delivery as the most optimal that we've seen, the most optimal solution to embrace the full time of testing. So this really extends your full, your overall testing time through your full development lifecycle. So you're able to really add value to your users earlier and faster, and then be able to continuously ship those updates. So you're probably asking, that sounds great, but how do you actually transition to this continuous testing strategy? So this is where our platform for tests really comes in. It's really the only consolidated solution that supports testing really across your entire development lifecycle. So we support functional testing. So we manage thousands of devices, browsers, so you don't have to worry about managing those or updating those. We also offer a great cost-effective visual solution. So that's available on our platform. We have beta testing and app distribution. So you're really able to distribute your apps across in a secure way across different platforms. And then we also have crash and error reporting. So that allows you to monitor and fix errors that are in production. And all of this is really supported and unified through our data and analytics layer. So for today's webinar, we're really going to be looking at our roadmap, what we're releasing through the model that we recommend, through this continuous delivery model, so you can really see how you can plug in our releases in order to deliver the best quality software. So I'm going to pass it over to Jaren now, and she's going to talk through, we're starting with launches that are for our testing pre-production within that paradigm. So I'm going to pass it over to Jaren to talk through our releases.
Thank you, Madison. Hi, everyone. Again, I think we can kick this off, right? Let's start. As a leading platform for test, we are continuously investing in our infrastructure, and our new data center in the US East will soon be available with public and private real devices, and our secure proxy solution with its newest version, it's Source Connect 5. Our new data center will help you access to the devices quickly and boost your testing efficiency. So in the end, accessing this data center, like accessing one of the is our third data center, enhances your testing experience, like especially if you have globally distributed teams, right? Because then this will enable you to performance to test your apps or websites from various locations against our data centers that are also distributed globally. Lastly, it ensures compliance and secure access, right? Thanks to our own proxy tunnels solution, which is, what Source Connect 5 provides. We're very excited to announce the general availability in the upcoming weeks. So stay tuned. You'll be hearing from us very shortly. We can move to the next one. Yeah, which is network throttling. While providing you with the fastest access to the devices, we still let you test on various network scenarios where the connection isn't maybe as desired for your customers. So with our new network throttling solution, you can simulate various network conditions like low latency, offline modes, or connection drops. This capability enables you to test how your app is behaving under different network scenarios, right? Anything that your customers may experience anywhere in the world. So you can easily reproduce bugs through this network profile capability. Use an example of a screenshot on the screen that we are sharing. So network throttling is currently available on Android and iOS devices for Appium and for all of our real device cloud. And this is available for your automated tests right now. And soon you will also be able to change the network conditions during the test. So for example, when you're running manual tests, in the middle of the test, you will also be able to change the conditions. So to sum up, our automation testing scenarios with Appium is already available, but as we are continuously working on it, soon it will also be available for live testing. But before we jump on to the next call, so you will be hearing more about this on our upcoming webinar, which is scheduled for exactly a month from now, right? It's on August 21st. And I think my friends will be dropping the link in the chat for you. So if you didn't register already, please secure your spot and register for our upcoming webinar. Then let's talk about Appium and how we're supporting if you're authoring your test, how Appium Inspector can help you. So Source Labs offers an integrated support for Appium Inspector tool on our real device cloud platform. So with the seamless integration, you can inspect UI elements within Source application with just one click. So we embedded this integration within the broader real-time debugging tool that you see on the screen again. In this, basically, it's part of the debugging tool set that you already have available for you. If you're responsible, for example, to maintain these Appium test scripts, from a failed test, let's imagine that you see a failed test. From that failed test onwards, you can directly open the session, and with one click, you can display the app source and start inspecting the elements. From there on, copying and downloading the locators will help you author and edit your Appium scripts faster. So integration is available for all of our users already on all devices. This is an accessibility testing. Yeah. Again, as a platform for testing, Medicine already showed the wide range of use cases that we are aspiring to cover, and accessibility testing is one of them. It's our mission to help you with your testing needs, right? So for this, we partner with the best-in-class solution providers. So our real device cloud integrates easily through Appium with DQ's X Dev Tools. It's called like DQ's X Dev Tools Mobile for Appium. So it is to help you with your automation solution, and to help you with your accessibility needs. It easily integrates into your current Appium automation environment without the need of a code change or SDK. I would like to pause here for a second, because making sure that the digital product that you're building is meeting the accessibility needs is, of course, essential, right? But it's not only to be I mean, there are multiple facets of it. So it's not only because of the best user experience we want to provide to the user. So that's given. And as a business or product owner, you also want to make sure that your application is compliant with the accessibility standards. So in 2025, we know that the European Accessibility Act will be in place. So for EU businesses, it will be required to update the accessibility, update the websites and the digital platforms to the standards that this act denotes. So if you're doing business in EMEA, your product must meet these standards. So in the upcoming months, as the time approaches, we will be sharing more information, I think blog posts and maybe another session our teams will be conducting regarding accessibility testing. But in the meanwhile, our integration is ready. So please check our documentation that I think we shared already. Thank you. And for more information. And I think we can move on. So very quickly, so far we talked about the scenarios that you might already be covering, or after attending this webinar, now you may consider expounding on your existing testing suites. But the important thing is that so this was all basically for us for your tests that goes before production. Especially for mobile applications, though, as you already are familiar with, we are mostly dependent on the app stores, right, to distribute the applications to the end users. Basically, when we the end users use, if we define the production system as the place where our end users is reaching the product, there is this dependency in the meanwhile that is responsible for the app distribution. Of course, I mean, when the product is already with your end users and it's on production, testing on production is not necessarily a bad idea. But as Madison also explained before, depending on your risk assessment and your appetite, it might also be a little too risky. So for that, there is an option for you, right? If you're familiar with this, the beta testing. These are the testing environments that let you test your applications by distributing very securely to the other end users for you to test before the application is actually pushed to the production through these app centers. So I think you already have a poll in the chat right now. So I will ask you to take a moment and answer the poll for us. Are you testing mobile applications already? And if so, how do you manage the app distribution before you push the app to the production? You may have heard about Test Flight, right, which is exclusively for iOS. Or maybe you heard about App Center, but if you're using App Center, I think you already know that it's scheduled for retirement. So I hope you have a backup plan if that's the case. Let me see. I think we already have answers. I'm not able to see it at the moment, but I will be very interested in your answers, and I will definitely check them after the webinar. But let's talk about what we have in place, right? Sauce Labs Secure App Distribution is an enterprise-grade platform. Oh, again, before I move on, actually, I do see the results. Thank you for bringing that up. I see that we have some of you using already external platforms, but some you don't know at all. I think we are at the right place then. We will talk more about this. But before that, let me introduce you Sauce Labs mobile app distribution solutions very quickly. Sauce Labs Secure App Distribution is our enterprise-grade platform, our solution for authorized and controlled access to your apps. It basically enables you to efficiently distribute the versions of your apps that to the users, and obviously collect the feedback from them rather faster. And the most important thing is you can do it at scale with support for up to 1 million builds and large scale of unique apps, right? This is what Sauce Labs is providing you. with a range of industry-leading features, including single sign-on, private cloud, private storage, distribution channels, and more. But I'm not going to go into details because we have our greatest solution engineer, Eyal, here, who will give you a live demo of the product. So before I continue, Eyal, I think you're ready.
Yes. Hi, everyone. So yes, before the demo, let's talk about these slides. So in this slide, we can see part of the SDLC, the software development life cycles, which includes the app life cycles. You have your versions control tool, such as GitHub, where you push your code changes, including new features and bug fix. You should also have a CI tool such as Jenkins, or in the example I will share in a few minutes, I use the GitHub Actions. By submitting a pull request or by pushing changes to the main branch or any branch you need, the process of building you trigger the process of building your app in the CI pipelines. Once your app is built, the good question is actually how do you test its quality before productions? As part of the CI pipeline, you can push the app to Source Labs. As we can see, the automated testing, you can push the app to Source Labs and execute automated tests, including frameworks such as Appium, Espresso, and XUI test to test the versions you just built on Source Labs real devices, emulators, and simulators. At the same time, you can have beta tester, which can be internal groups such as product manager or QA or external testers outside your organizations. You want to distribute the new version to these beta tester so they can download and manually test it on their local devices. And after testing your new app on Source Labs, on Source Lab devices, and having your beta tester test it on their local devices, and of course, once you are confident about the quality of your app, you can proceed and to publish it to the app stores. And now let's see that in the live demo. So I will share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen? Hopefully, yes.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. So if you're already a Source Lab user, you can open TestFair from the platform by clicking on the mobile beta tester. One sec, I will move it here. Yeah, okay, now I can see my screen. Okay, by clicking and you will reach to this to the TestFair dashboards. If you log into Source Labs using single sign-on SSO, you log into TestFair with the same SSO. You don't need to change anything. In the apps, you have just a moment, let me minimize this. In the apps, you have the view of all the apps you or your teams uploaded from the UI. So you can click uploaded and you can upload new apps and new versions, or from an API or from the CI pipelines. This is the developer dashboards, and I will show you a beta tester dashboard soon. We can distribute apps from both platforms, Android or iOS. We can create folders. And so to folder to organize your apps, we can add tags. For example, here I added tags Flutters. So it's and you can filter by those tags and so on. So if I go to this one, so here actually you can see the tester dashboards. They can only see the apps and version they have permissions to download and test. They can't, for example, they can't upload apps or can add beta testers. So now let's go back to the developer dashboards. For each app, so if I select for each app, so I select one of the app. For each app, we have the different versions. We can see how many times the app was downloaded. We can see when did we upload the apps. With the integration of Sauce Labs, you can upload this version to Sauce Labs and test it on real device or on simulators. We can email these versions to a beta tester. So I can click here and email this version to a beta tester, and they will get an email with a link that they can use to download the app and test it on their devices and more. If I go to the landing page, we can see, and if we want, we also can change the landing page URL that your beta tester can use to download these specific versions. In the visibility, currently it is closed beta. Tester need to be invited to test these versions and to log into Test Fairy. But for this demo, I will click on open. I will open these specific versions. And if now I will go and click on preview landing page. So actually, I can scan. So if I open my phones, and you can also, if you have Android, you can scan this QR code. Okay, I can scan this QR code, and in my phone, I will get to the to download this app. And for example, if I go back before I clicking where it is. So if I click back, if now I can see that I have 7 downloads and I will ask to download, I should see that it's updated to 8. Okay, and now actually in my Android device, I started to download these specific versions. Let's go to the beta testers. Here you can see the list of beta testers. You can add beta tester by sending them an email. We group the testers into group, so I can distribute my new version to specific groups. For example, I want to distribute to an internal QA teams or product manager teams. And also, for example, 2 weeks ago at the DroidCon event in Berlin, that is one of the biggest events for the Android community. Someone told me that in his organization, sometimes they need to distribute a specific versions only to testers that have specific device models. So of course, you can also do that here. So for example, I created a tag Android S22. That's my device. My device is Samsung S22. And I can add this tag here. And whenever is needed, I can distribute a specific versions only to testers that have this specific device, for example. Back to the app. And if here I click again on the see the versions and I click on the permissions, I can see I can select which group have permission to download and test my app. And when a new version is uploaded, they automatically get mail and see it on their dashboard. Now let's see that see an example that summarizes what I demo here. So this is a demo app that I developed. So this is, if I go to, so this is my demo app. Currently, as you can see, version code is 10, and this is actually also, you can see here that this is the latest versions. So if now I'm here, I can do some changes, add feature, fix bug, and I change the versions to 11 and go to I can see this is the changes in my GitHub. This is the version control tools. I commit, push my change, push original, okay. And I push these changes to my branch, to the main branch. Now, actually, what I mentioned in the slide, now actually I trigger the workflow, GitHub action workflow that start to build my app. So if I go to here, here. First of all, we can see that the workflow started, update build, and while we are building the app and distribute and send it, upload it to Sauce Labs and to and to TestFairy and send it to the tester, I will explain what actually we are doing in this workflow. Okay, so in this workflow, this is the YAML file that actually with the workflow, what we are doing in a high level, the important steps. We are building the app. Okay, so this is the Android command to build the app. Sorry, building the app. This is the line I meant. Build the debug APK. I can also capture the APK name, put it in parameters. If needed, I can also upload it to the GitHub action, to the artifacts of GitHub action. So after that, if needed, I will have access to these new files. And the important part here, let's make it here. This is the step where I use TestFairy API. This is the TestFairy API. I need to use my TestFairy access key. Of course, it's secure in GitHub action secure parameters. I point to the where is the new applications. I don't want only to upload this file. I also want to already to distribute this file to send it to all the testers that are in Android S22 group. And I want also to notify them by email that there is a new versions. So hopefully now, if it's already, okay, it's still running. But in a few seconds, it's something like 2 minutes. But in a few seconds, what we should see here that this build will finish and the new app will be uploaded. Let's see. Okay. So again, the workflow, it's included in here in the workflow. I want to trigger it in the main. You can change it to any branch that you need. And all the steps are here. But for our demo, this is the step that actually should upload and distribute the new versions. Okay, now the build finish. Okay, so let's actions just to make sure this is the new one. I can see that this is now version 11. If I go to, if I go here, I refresh this page. I can see that now I have version 11, and I can already, if I need to distribute this app, I can. This is number 11. I can send the QR code, download it, send an email to other testers, but also this is the dashboard of the tester that is part of the group. So if I now see that I'm version 10, and if I refresh this page, hopefully we can see that now we also have version 11. So this specific tester can already download this app and start immediately to test my new versions after a few seconds that I build my new versions, my new app. This is from me. Back to you, Jiran.
Thank you, Eyal. So you heard us saying TestFairy sometimes, but I think you catch that part already. So TestFairy is joined Sauce Labs. I think it's been 3 years already. And, our solution, mobile app distribution solution, is powered by TestFairy, now part of Sauce Labs. So as Eyal showed you, we have seamless integration. So it's part of our product suite. Okay, so if you're still with me, we've been through now the pre-production tests, and we take a look at we're now getting ready to push the code to production. We did our internal testers and we distributed the app, and now let's go. What's going to happen in production? So now we are, ideally you have thousands, maybe millions of customers that have access to the app or the website that you have with the newest release, and they're producing quite a lot of data, right, on production. And at the same time, you are continuously testing it. And using Sauce Labs platform, we also have probably thousands, if not, you know, or tens of thousands test data that you've been producing for your testing your app continuously. If you go to the next slide, please. At the same time, you know, no, I mean, I just wanted to take a pause here because we all know that the industry, you know, the teams want to release code fast, right? That's also part of the rhythm. So the higher the risk, you know, the faster we release the code to production, of course, the higher the risk that the bugs will escape, right? Again, we are not imagining a world where there's 0 bugs on production. We're aspiring to have it, but it happens. And so obviously, if an error or maybe a crash happens, and if you're a member of the, you know, development or the testing team, manual debugging is an option, right? You just have been informed about it and you just want to check what happened. And the manual debugging is cumbersome, right? And the time spent on debugging is the time that is not spent on innovating. But at the same time, I think the most important thing is, you know, as I explained, you have maybe thousands and maybe more customers that is creating all these like errors for a debugger in the scenario. I think we've all been there. Managing and filtering all these huge volumes of errors is pretty difficult, especially if you want to triage, and moreover, if you want to identify and then prioritize the critical errors that happened on production. So that's why another SaaS solution, which is again integrated fully on our product, is the crash and reporting. This is when crash and reporting comes into place, right? Our crash and reporting solutions helps you basically shorten this resolution time and helps you get to the root cause faster. It reduces the noise. I would call it noise in quotation mark, noise from all the users that you have on the traces that your users have been building on the production, so that you can pay attention to the high priority errors. And if you move to the next slide, please, we're enhancing our crash and error reporting solution, right? This crash and reporting solution. I assume that you're already aware, and maybe most of you are using it already, but we are continuously enhancing our crash and reporting solution too. And the new feature that we're working on is the session replay. This feature will help you then visually recreate the user session of the error that you detected, right? And in that case, you will get a chance to have a complete context of the actions triggering that error or the crash. So this feature will be available in the upcoming months for you. So late Q2, let's see, we have 2-3 months ahead. You'll be hearing from us soon. And lastly, we talked about all the test data that you have, right? If you are running your tests on SaaS, we already, by trusting, you've been trusting us, and thanks to our best in breed infrastructure, we've been executing, as I said, maybe thousands, maybe millions of tests every month. So we are enhancing our insights, dashboards, and APIs that we are providing for you to inform you with your test coverage and about your usage. So recently, we've launched usage reports for your tests that are running on real devices and as well as on our virtual infrastructure. And soon you will also be able to have access to your usage reports if you're running visual tests. And what's coming on our dashboards is that we're working towards customizing those insights dashboards for you so that you and your team have personalized dashboards that will help you further analyze your test data and these insights, and maybe have strategic decisions after analyzing your coverage and usage. I think that's it from me. It's been, and I hope that we're still on time. Yes, I think we are.
Yes.
Right?
Thanks, Darren, so much. Yeah, we're just going to pop another poll up if you want to set up a dedicated time with one of our test experts to talk through how you can start integrating these awesome releases. Feel free to fill that out. And now we do have a little bit of time for Q&A. So let me pull up some other questions that we've gotten. Okay, so Jaren, we did have a question when iOS 18, when will that be available?
Of course, we only talked about some features, but what does a platform for test do, right? So iOS 18, as you know, in beta version, Apple released it, it's available. And iOS 18 beta version is also available on our real devices. And we're expecting Apple to release, iOS 18 in the full version together with iPhone 16, I would say in September. As you know, as Sauce Labs, we are providing you the newest and the latest. So you will again be hearing from us probably very soon after, Apple and also Android announces the newest OS versions and with the new phones, of course.
Yay,
So
that's so exciting.
Yeah, in parentheses, you ask iOS 18, but at the same time, we also have this year, again, just like most of the years, like new Android version coming. Thank you, Ashwini, for sharing it. Same applies for Android, right? Android 15 beta is available already on our real devices, as well as on our emulator offering on virtual infrastructure. I think the Google's release date is expected to be in late August. So yeah, similar to, the iOS releases, we will have them available on our platform, both the new phones and the new OS versions.
Yay, sounds great. Okay, maybe have a little bit of time for one or two more. We did have a question. What was the difference between the community Appium Inspector and then our Sauce Labs Appium Inspector?
That's also a good one. So the community, the Appium Inspector, just to remind everyone, right? Appium Inspector is a tool that is developed by the Appium community, and it has standalone desktop application, and it's also available as a web application. And I think you all know that Sauce Labs is one of the main sponsors and one of the for the Appium projects as well. So that solution is already still available and maintained by the Appium community. But what we have right now is that Appium Inspector solution is like natively integrated in our built-in. We have a built-in integration to Sauce Labs, basically, as a tool. So now it's much easier to inspect Appium locators in real time. So you don't even need to switch basically any screens or anything. So, but in short, Appium Inspector is available still from the Appium community, and ours is a seamless integration that helps you author and edit your tests.
Nice, that makes so much sense. Okay, this is a big one. Everyone's obviously talking about AI. What is Sauce Labs doing when it comes to AI? What initiatives do we have?
Thank you. So I don't know if we have them here already. I would like to introduce you, but I don't think we will have time today. So we do have a team of AI researchers with us at Sauce Labs, and we are exploring, the capabilities that AI will bring with testing. We do believe that, especially the generative and conservational AI will help maybe authoring of test cases, right? Making the test authoring accessible to many while decreasing the time it takes to create and executable script. We are also leveraging AI to bring a common understanding of quality scoring. So we have a couple of research projects that we're going on, and maybe I think that's we're pretty excited to announce it to you, but I will say as we enhance our researches, you will definitely be hearing from us more.
Okay, great. We did just get one other question, and this might be last one to wrap it up, but curious around Appium Inspector. When will we see new additional features like web and native context, for example?
We released Appium Inspector rather recently. It's been, I think, a couple of months now. And we've been collecting insights from our, from you, basically, from our users. Currently, we did not plan any enhancements, but it's definitely on our radar. As we have more users come, using and reporting us any additional needs, we are happy to address them also in the near future. I can't say a timeline at the moment, but if you are using it, please leave us your feedback, and we are happy to, take a look at your use case and try to incorporate what's available in our platform.
Well, thank you so much, Jaren. I think that's all our time for today. We really appreciate everyone spending the time with us to learn about our roadmap, and we'll see you back here in about a month for our network throttling session. Thanks, everyone.